Well, good day, Riley here. So I wanted to tell you about a nifty little tool that a friend made for me and how it solved a problem that I had. So this car here was brought to me with a major vacuum leak, and what had happened was this stud had pulled out of the head. As you can probably see, it's recessed down in there. I don't know if you can see down in there, but the threads are way down in there. And so I attempted to make a repair on the car using a time cert. And this is a big cert, but essentially it's the same thing. It is a threaded bushing. It's threaded inside and outside and has a method of locking itself, okay? So this one's a double wall, the big cert. That's a regular time cert. So I attempted to drill this in the car using my drill, and the problem is it's almost impossible to get it perpendicular, to get it square, the way that you need it to be. And so consequently, I did not drill the hole properly, and so the repair did not hold. So that is not necessarily a be-all, end-all deal breaker, because you can go from a time cert, which are these, to a big cert, which are these. The problem is, how do I address that? How do I drill it straight and make it work since it didn't work the first time? So I have a friend that's a retired tool maker, and they came up with this nifty little tool here. And essentially what you have here, I'm going to set this on here. Okay. You have a series of bushings. These we'll call setup bushings, okay? You can either use them with the studs that are in the head, or you can use them with bolts. And so what you do is you screw this in, whichever one, or if it's the stud, you just slip it over the top, and basically it gives you a nice steady base to work from, to drill from. Okay, and then there's a series of other bushings that work with this tool, and the bushings that you use depending on the tool that you're using and the operation that you're doing. Now, I'm going into a lot of detail here, but I'm going to try to explain this pretty succinctly. Okay, each one of the tools for the time cert, and I'm showing you the big certs because I have that one laid out, and these are still in the package. Each one of the tools is a different diameter. And the problem is, again, how do you make sure that you keep that square? So there's a bushing that is made for each one of the tools. A bushing for the drill bit, a bushing for the tap, and a bushing for the installation tool. I'm sorry, the locking tool. And so essentially what you do is you go through each operation and you change the bushing each time. And there's a series, I guess, of 8 bushings here. Yeah, 6, 8. There are the 2 setup bushings, which you do not necessarily have to use if the studs are intact. Then there's a bushing for each one of the 3 tools for the 2 different sizes. And so that allows you to make the repair in the car and keep it all nice and square. My concern was that I was going to have to pull the head off of the car in order to do this, and thankfully that proved not to be the case. The repair has now been made, and it's working well, although I have some other issues with the car that I'm working on. I have the HEI distributor out of it because we're checking a few things. But anyway, this is a nifty little tool. I don't know how many times I'll use it, but I have had this happen several times in the past, so it's pretty cool to have this tool to use. And, well, there you go.